welcome Jeffrey.
Everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I have practiced telling a lot of you to keep quiet in the library. Anyway, I'm going to talk about Hanukkah. I can't move like I did in the last one thing, Hanukkah, although it generally occurs at the same time as Christmas, has nothing, the two holidays have nothing to do with each other. Hanukkah has two main aspects to it. There's a miracle associated with it, with the lighting of the menorah, which I'll talk about later. And then there's a there's a liberation struggle. The story really starts with Alexander the Great, and he conquered the Middle East, Iran, etc. And at his death, the empire broke apart. So you had Egypt, you had Greece, and also then you had the Syrian Greek Empire. And the Jews fell under the land of the Syrian Greeks. And they got along for the most part until a particular ruler came along, and then he forbade Jewish practices, and he tried to suppress the religion, and then there was the revolt. And that was led by Mattathias, and he had 5 sons. And he had, one of them took over after him, Judah. His name was Judas, and he was named Maccabee, the Hammer. And even today at the Olympics, there are Jewish Olympics that are held periodically, and they're called the Maccabean Games in memory of the Maccabees. At any rate, after fighting guerrilla warfare for about 3 years, the Jews were able to take back Jerusalem, and they went to the Holy Temple. And in ancient times, the temple was the center of Jewish life. You have 4 major pilgrimage holidays, and the Jews were expected to come to Jerusalem and offer up sacrifices, etc. And the temple had been profaned by the Greeks. They had slaughtered pigs in there, and basically it was desecrated. So the temple was clean, and they wanted to light the menorah, which for 3,000 years has been a symbol of the Jewish faith. The menorah actually has 7 candles to it. And they were looking for olive oil, and they found enough to light the menorah. Well, it was supposedly for 1 day, but it lasted for 8 days. So this was considered a miracle, and the religious leaders declared a festival, and it lasts 8 days in memory of the light to the temple. And now this particular, we call it menorah, technically it's a Hanukkah, and it's used for Hanukkah. So it has 9 branches, and 8 of them are supposed to be on the same level, 1 for each day. And then there's the shamas of surface candle, and that's used to light the candles. So generally you'll light them from right to left, and on the first actually evening of Hanukkah, you would light 1, and then the next day 2, etc., etc. All Jewish holidays begin the evening before the actual day of the Hanukkah. There are 3 blessings that are said the first night, and then 2 blessings are said all the other nights. So the first blessing gives thanks to God for giving us the commandment of lighting the Hanukkah lights, and the second blessing praises God for the miracles that he or she, that God did in the past for us, which even exists for us today. And the third blessing is a blessing that we were able to gather together that night in order to begin the ceremony. So that's how the Hanukkah candles work. Usually they're displayed in a window or near a window so people can see. Those of you who maybe drive past synagogues during Hanukkah, sometimes they have big menorahs that are lit outside and people are dancing or reciting prayers during certain of the nights of Hanukkah. So that's the menorah. This is not a war hammer, but it's a dreidel. And one of the, this is a little top, a children's game. And they have an acronym, different letters that stand for Great Miracle Occurred. So when you're doing the gambling game, you spin the top. And if it lands none, you get nothing. Gimel, you get the whole pot. Hay is half. And what did I miss? Oh, Shin, you don't get anything, you have to kick into the pot. So it's sort of a fun game, both for children and adults. Also, at the time of the Maccabees, children would keep guard, and while Jews were praying or reading the text, so the children would be playing the tops as they were keeping watch for the Syrian soldiers who might appear at the time. Also, you may have heard the expression Hanukkah gelt, so another custom that everyone likes. There are little coins made out of gold-covered coins of chocolate, so they're wrapped up and distributed to kids. Sometimes I steal some from my kids, in the bag itself. Foods are associated a lot with oil, so the oil in the temple. So you have potato pancakes, latkes, which are fried. You have Philly donuts, not very healthy foods, but so some people substitute other things. But they help remembrance of the oil and the miracle in the temple. And then there are a number of songs, etc., that are sung particularly for the holiday. So anyway, that's an overview of Hanukkah. Another tradition is often to give kids a present each night. So this, I think, is to help make Jewish kids not feel bad. You know, Christmas often occurs at the same time. However, I personally think it promotes greediness among kids. So I don't think it's a particularly good thing. So anyway, that's an overview of Hanukkah. So it's something that, I don't know, in the public schools they sing songs. I don't know how much of a background you get on the holiday, but hopefully you've learned a couple of things about it.